Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. This is Angel here with my first ever short form content, as we are trying to call it, but it's theoretically not short form content. But this will be my quick and fast review of WrestleMania 42. It was the biggest stinker of the year, in my opinion, for one night, and one night was one of the great ones as well, which I loved very, very much. But we'll kick it off here with a six-man tag match. Or should I say, I think they might have kicked it open with Cena, but I will say a funny story is that I didn't know it started 2 hours earlier than the regular, and I was asleep. So I woke up in the middle of the six-man tag match towards the end when Speed got knocked out by Logan Paul, and they had lost the match. I went back and saw a lot of things, and Speed looked a lot of good. I mean, this match was just a regular Raw match, in my opinion, with Speed in there, and Speed looked really good, and I'm glad he had and I'm sure he had a lot of fun, and he did the top rope off the top of the post into the commentary table, which was a fun spot. But LA Knight picks up the win, which was surprising, and I'm grateful that LA Knight picked up the win. He very well deserves that. But this match was just, nothing great. I wish LA Knight was doing something different. The Usos, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, it's just, I don't know, a lack of the injuries that happened, but that match was, it was okay. Following this was an unsanctioned match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, which I thought was good for what it was. I wish these two were in different positions for Mania. They did a really good job with each other in their feud. I think Drew deserves so much better than wherever the hell he's doing here. And so do I think Jacob, too. I wish they weren't fighting each other here, but they did the best they could. Nasty spot. I wish there was some blood here. You know, there was a part where Drew was shoving the screwdriver in Jacob's face and stuff, and they used the toolbox and all this weaponry, but Jacob picked up the win here. I don't know what you do next with Drew. I don't want to spoil things for when we talk about Raw, but Jacob obviously did something on Raw for a champion. But yeah, and then following this was Botch Fest with a huge surprise, which not really a huge surprise. It was rumored that Paige is signing a new deal, so it's the Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way, which was fun. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I really loved that Paige is back, because I really loved Paige when I was younger, and she's been gone for a decade from the ring in WWE, aside of her AEW stint. I really hated how they did it, though. I hated how Nikki Bella came out and was like, "Oh, I tried, guys," and she had like an attitude, or I don't know. Her demeanor doesn't come off very well, but Paige looked good, but there was a lot of botches. Even the damn, what was it? The cameraman fell, which was hilarious, but it was like, oh shoot, Paige is about to hit this, and then the cameraman fell because Lyra accidentally knocked him over. But, I mean, it was a huge botch fest, but I think it was, okay. Paige and Brie Bella won. We'll see what they do tonight on SmackDown, actually. It's Friday. So yeah, they picked up the win, and she picked up her first belt back, and that was a moment for Saturday night that so far had hype. Up next was a match I saw in the Chamber Live. Is the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, and I just am so tired of this dragged out feud. This match went on for, I think, 7 or 8 minutes max, which was insane to me. I sat through like a 20-minute match of them, and they went short here, and it was just, it was better than the last one, maybe because it was shorter and not super long, but I didn't like that AJ Lee lost. She's gonna go away for a long time, and I'm so just tired of Becky. I'm not saying Becky's terrible. I just think she needs to go away. How can we miss you if you won't go away? I'm very disappointed on me, but I missed out on Gunther versus Seth, but I saw Braun Breaker come back, and Braun Breaker coming back looked good. The Spears did not look the best, and he costed him the match, and Gunther made Seth faint with the chokehold, and yeah. Following that was the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match, and it was Liv Morgan and Stephanie McCurr, and I was like, Liv Morgan's entrance was terrible. Stephanie McCurr was good. This match went on for 6 minutes, which was insane to me, and I hated this whole match. Like, Stephanie can go. Liv, I don't know what the hell. and her winning was just so stupid, in my opinion. Like, Stephanie didn't deserve to lose here, but I don't know what the hell they were thinking. But now it's time for the Saturday main event, the big one. 20 years, damn near 20 years of history here, and it's all the focal point of Pat McAfee and Jelly fucking Flop. But here we go. Randy Orton makes his entrance. Long entrance. Pat McAfee makes his entrance. Long entrance. And they were both boring and long. Cody Rhodes makes his entrance, and it was so fucking nice. And they went through the history of Cody Rhodes. And good gear, a good entrance. I didn't like his gear, the trench, the gold. I didn't really like that, but I liked that it was like all his legacy of him, and then the Cody Pyro, all that stuff was perfect and tremendous. And before the match even starts, Pat McAfee goes for Cody, and Cody takes him out, and then he's taking out Pat McAfee, and then Jelly Roll goes, and the elbow drops into the table, and we never see them ever again. And then Cody and Randy go at it very slow. They slow-paced match. It doesn't really pick up a lot. And I was just not so fond of this match at all. And then it picks up when Randy gets blinded by the blood, and he RKOs the referee. And then what's it called? He takes out Cody. And then, oh no, another referee's coming back, and it's Pat McAfee in a neck brace, which I think was so stupid. The amount of people we've seen go through commentary tables, and he needs a neck brace for that, which is so stupid. And then he doesn't get the pin, so Randy RKO's Pat, and then Cody goes for his finish, and then another referee comes in, and it's 1, 2, 3, and the crowd was over. The crowd was excited, and they got popped. I mean, I think, well, Pat McAfee, it seems he's pulling out, and because obviously the negative fan reaction, and also it was perfect. They won the crowd back for Cody because he's been getting booed the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell they were thinking by doing this afterwards. And WrestleMania is the show where feuds end. And towards the end, you had Randy Orton fucking batter Cody, take the belt, and just batter Cody with it, and then punt kick him and fuck him up. And they were cheering for that. So I'm like, you had the crowd won over for Cody, and you just threw it all away just so... I don't know. I don't want to see this feud anymore. TKO is so stupid for putting their fucking fingers all in towards the end of this, because this fucking feud wrote itself. It is so disappointing. But, and if I were to have gone to this show on Saturday, I would never watch wrestling or go to wrestling ever again. But, thankfully, there's a new day, Sunday. As you may know, I'm also been pushing myself to do wrestling training, so I come home, I'm sweaty, I'm blown up by the training, and I make it just in time with my wife and her family to watch WrestleMania Night 2 Sunday, and this day was just so much more relieved. But they kick it off with Femi and Brock Lesnar in a 6-minute match, and it was just perfect. Oba got his stuff in, and Brock got his stuff in, and his finishers, or all his moves are basically finishers. And then Oba took over and did his power bomb, 1, 2, 3, and I popped. Like, I was in shock that Brock lost and he put him over, and then I was in even more shock that Brock Lesnar has allegedly retired. And it was just unexpected. That was not what I was expecting, and it was crazy, nonetheless. But yeah, Brock was emotional, and Paul Heyman was very emotional. So yeah, that was a moment right there. Following this was the Intercontinental title ladder match featuring Rusev, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, JD, and Javon Evans. And Penta, of course. And I had an issue here. We went through this long commercial break. We come back from commercial break, and Javon makes his entrance, and Penta makes his entrance, and Ray makes his entrance. But JD, Dragon Lee, and Rusev were already all there in the ring, and I had seen video that they were playing ads during their entrance there live in the thing, which was so just insane. But there was some good spots here. Penta doing the Mexican Destroyer. I think was it on JD McDonough. You had Javon Evans doing a cutter to Rusev, which looked a little weird because Rusev kind of threw himself in there, but he saved him from just falling. Helped him up there. But I thought that was crazy. And then you had Rey Mysterio do a senton over the top rope into Rusev into a ladder, which was nuts. And I thought Javon was gonna win this year, but no, Penta retained, and I thought that was good. I would have had no issue with Javon retaining, but I like that Penta won. So, or not Javon retaining, Penta retaining. I thought Javon was gonna win, but I had no issue with that. For the United States Championship match following this, it's Trick Williams and Sami Zayn, Trick with Little Yachty, and they've been having an okay program. I still think this should have been Carmelo and Trick. I don't know why they would insert Sammy here. Sammy's a babyface who's getting booed out the fucking building, and he comes out there, and Sammy and Trick did wonders. That Trick shot was fucking insane. Lil Yachty took a bump, and it was a lot of fun. And Sammy made a lot of the things look very good for Trick, and Trick took the win, and now he's the new United States champion, and I congratulate Trick Williams on his victory. And following this, it was a street fight between Finn Balor, the Demon Finn Balor, and Dominic. And I like Dominic's entrance, and shout out to all the wrestlers that came out there alongside a part of the entrance. I know some familiar from over here. Lucha Gold Sonico was part of that, which was really iconic and fire. And I liked his throne, and I really like how much Dominic cares about his family heritage to have that Lucha entrance. It's really wicked. And Dominic and Finn also, seeing the Demon Finn Balor come back is just so phenomenal. Shaved beard. It was so nice. I just didn't like that it was a street fight last minute. I don't ever remember them saying it was going to be a street fight. And it was just like, just wrestlers doing stuff with weapons. And I was excited to see the Demon in action. But Finn took over the win. And I guess, yeah, that was that. But yeah, it was an okay. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. But it was all right. And for the women's championship match, was Rhea and Jade following this. And this match was super, like, iffy. Like, it started out really, really good. And I had, like, scared for this match. It was, like, iffy or not. But it started out really, really good until all the interference and stuff. That's when it got kind of scuffled. But they both looked good. I had no issue. I wonder what's next for Jade Cargill. And wonder who's going to go after Rhea Ripley following this. And, yeah, congratulations Rhea Ripley for winning, taking the pin. And I saw a lot of a discourse that Jade Cargill does the electric chair, the one-wing angel, and I think that's a new finish or whatnot. I don't know if she or whatnot. I have no issue with that. It's cool. I mean, everyone does everyone's finishes at this point in life. And Saturday, I forgot to mention, Bianca Cena came out to do the attendance, and Bianca Belair came back, and she hasn't been seen in so long, and she announced that she was pregnant. And today or Sunday, I keep fucking up. Sunday, John Cena comes out to do the announcement, and The Miz and Kit Wilson come out, and they're over there, complaining about God knows what. And Danhausen's music hits, and the Mini-Hausens come out, and here comes Danhausen in a coffin car, and it's the most hilarious thing on the planet. It was so fun and hysterical, and The Miz is just complaining, and he finally gets Danhausen meets Cena and shake hands, and then Miz crashes out that, no, why are you shaking his hand, and this, and then one of the dwarves punches Kit Wilson right in the groin, and then they attack him, and then the Miz gets hit in the groin by Danhausen, and the dwarves take out the Miz down to the stage, and then Danhausen and Cena get startled by the damn pyro to make him disappear, and he runs away and runs off, and that was that. And that was fun. That was a good breather. And following this was finally the World Heavyweight Championship match between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And when I tell you, Roman's entrance was stupid. I'm glad he has his old theme back, but I hated the fact that they fucking have those people pretending that they're playing instruments. It's so stupid. Like, you could tell the guy's not playing the drums. Maybe the lady was singing. I don't know. And then there was a time where the lady stopped singing and she was just sitting there with a blank face. I don't know, but Roman comes out, long entrance, cut Paul the Pyro, and then Punk comes out to Misera Contera, and it was so iconic and fire, and the video package was so beautiful and amazing, and he comes out, he walks out there with the craziest facials ever, and he stands there with no music, he gets on his knee and does It's Clobber, and everyone else finishes the line in loud effect, and the music plays. He takes the belt off, he makes his entrance, he's walking down there, Oh, everyone's excited. Everyone's throwing their babies down in the ring and shit. And then they do the announcements. And then they get this ball going. And Punk and Roman lock up. And they're locking up. They go back with some strikes. It starts off really slow. Then it picks up. And then they do a couple uppy downsies and stuff, Come on, these pictures will explain more. And it was very ups and downs. And then Roman battered him, hit him with the Superman punch, got him down. Now he's showing weak spots. Punk is trying to fight over here. Now they're on their knees. Now they're giving themselves stiff shots back and forth. And they're eating it up. The crowd is eating it up. Like, everyone's invested here. And how do I say this? They get outside the ring. They go over the barricade. Then they go back inwards. Punk's hanging upside down from the... I might be wrong there. But Punk's hanging upside down under the off the top rope. And Roman Reigns just spams him with like 5 or 6 Superman punches. I thought it was dumb. And then they hit him. He hits him with the steel steps, which I thought it was even more dumb. Because it's like, hey, the steel steps is a DQ. I don't know what, or why it wasn't a DQ. It was really goofy and dumb. He gets unhooked. And he's bleeding. And then they start using the other table. And then Punk goes to the first table. And then Roman goes to the next table later on. And then Punk grabs the Ulafala from, I think it was a fan or family member. Runs in there and tries to finish it with the GTS. He gets kicked out. And, what was I going to say? I know there was barely many GTSs here. But Roman, I would just skip down to the finish. Punk starts just doing this thing where he's like fainting and he's tired. And I'm like, this is so dumb. This is so stupid. This match is so good. And he's going to lose because he's so old, even though he can hang with everyone else that he's had all the last 3 years he's been back, And Roman takes him out, batters him, slams his head on the mat over and over and over again. And then we think he has it, and he low blows Roman Reigns, and then because he throws his wrist tape down, so the referee has to throw it out. Low blows him, hits him with the GTAs, he kicks out, and then unfortunately, Punk gets another Superman punch and gets a beating down, and then he gets put in the guillotine hold, and the guillotine hold, and the guillotine hold, and then he reverses into the Anaconda Vice, and then get back to the guillotine hold, gets off from that, and then he gets taken down. And then he gets hit with the stupidest spear on the planet, where he barely bounces on the ropes and spears him, which I think is so stupid. And then I just 1, 2, 3, and I was like, this is stupid. Like, this whole Mania for me was going perfect until that. Like, I'd rather much see CM Punk champion than Roman Reigns. I don't care if he's gonna be full time. It's stupid. It's useless, and it's just whatever. But I am happy for what's gonna happen next with Punk, though. Roman Reigns, he doesn't interest me anymore. It's so played out. But yeah, that was WrestleMania 42. Night 1, I wish never, ever, ever, ever happened. Night 2 should have just been Mania. I would have been fine. Also, congratulations to Royce Keys for winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. And my only complaints is how bad Night 1 was. And how bad TKO loves shoving ads in there. It's so stupid. This is not the Super Bowl. Like, ads is just, the over ads is just insane and disgusting and deplorable of how I wouldn't even want to go to a Mania after that. It's just so insane. But yeah, so, well, let me know what you guys think about WrestleMania. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment what you enjoyed. I am Angel or SpongeyT. And yeah, this is my WrestleMania 42 review. Hopefully we'll get to do the big one here very soon. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, or evening. Peace.